On everyone. Nope, we are recording. Hello, good evening everyone for our Sunday night training. I love this Sunday night training. We learned so much and we have a lot to learn today, so we're going to get hop to it. My name is Maria Williams and I have the amazing Dr. Sveta Silverman, who is just back from Japan, who, believe it or not, she met the not the creator, the person that discovered NRF2, the protein. He found the protein. Like, isn't that incredible? Like, this is the level of knowledge, of just excellence we have in this company and the people. Like a total stranger at one point in time becomes a friend of someone through yoga, and here she is teaching and mentoring us, and she is a genius. I mean, to me, she's one of the smartest doctors that I know. She has just really taken a lot of time to dive in and learn about NAD and really how it all interacts, and how really to explain it as simply as possible to us. Sveta has, for those that don't know, she has 2 degrees. She's a surgical pathologist now with a breast cancer expert, and she was previously a pediatric surgeon. She was born in Russia and had her degree pediatric surgeon in Russia, but when she went to Canada, she had to go back to school and she became a surgical pathologist. And her passion is prevention and to help all of us understand what we have our hands on, understand the science, all these different pathways, how they work, and to really continue educating us. So, Sveta, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you were in Japan. You presented a paper in Japan, and you met the scientist that discovered the NRF2 protein. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, so I'm going to turn it over to you to get this conversation going and tell us what you learned when you were in Japan, and more about NRF2 and what's the paper that you presented on.
Oh, thank you very much. I think you need to allow me to share the screen.
Did you try yet?
I did. It said host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Okay.
Okay, while she's allowing me to share, guys, let me start. First of all, good evening and stuff. And I would like to start with showing you this watch. Look at this beautiful gold mechanical watch. This is my grandmother's watch. In Tibet, you can hear it ticking. But this mechanical watch our cell is an analogy of mechanical watch. This is an old whining mechanical watch that consists of 130 little wheels, little parts. But every part has to work in a clean environment of this watch for this watch to work. So even if one little wheel where the rivets do not fit in the slot, and maybe it's dusted. So from that misaligned rivet, that watch is going to stop. Well, this is our cell. And that's what LifeVantage brings per se to me, the conceptuality of what we have. It's not that per se, and I was like, why are we adding something else? But it's not that we're adding something else. We are upregulating another wheel of this watch. So we are tuning this cellular mechanism. So the watch only has 130 plus parts. Our cell has over 60,000 proteins. And for the cell to work properly, everything has to work in synergy, all the mechanisms, but some mechanisms are more important than the others. And from that perspective, NRF2 activation is the key. NRF1 or mitochondrial boost is the key, because everyone knows that mitochondria is the key of our energy, but it's also the key of our youth, of our longevity. And that's where we start talking about NAD and about sirtuins and about fatty acids and cellular membranes, and on and on. So let me start. Hopefully, oh, I can share. I can share. I'm so excited.
Feta, I love that analogy. I mean, it makes perfect sense because yes, a watch and you have all these wheels, right, that have to, as one turns, it makes the other one turn.
Absolutely, because you know, this beautiful grandmother's watch, this is probably, I would say, easily 78 years old. But this, every little wheel, with all these rivets and all these notches, it has to align. And that is exactly what the cell is. And the cell is aligned. So the key, why am I so excited? This is about us, guys. Your health is in your hands. And that's what we do in LifeVantage, we educate. And you know, ending up, so this is me, yay. This is me in Japan. And I presented this paper, obviously, to me now. Please don't get me wrong, but the more I learn, the less I know. So today is a very, very unique presentation because I'm so comfortable about NRF2. But bringing NAD and sirtuins, you know, we as physicians are like, oh, I know about sirtuins. No, we don't. Till we start learning. And again, this is a huge, steep learning curve. In Japan. Now, the excitement of this conference in Japan is unique. This is my third conference. So the first one was an eye-opener, and it was both per se theoretical research and more clinical. The second one was NRF2 and therapeutic potential. So it was more like into drugs and into concept. And again, to have us as NRF2 activators in an absolute proper way. We bring with NRF2, our NRF2 activator or inducer, again, properly upregulates the cells to work like a well-oiled ticking clock or watch. The third, this one conference for me was incredible. Now, we were not allowed to take any pictures because the research that was presented is an unpublished research. This is the top of NRF2 world. And yes, absolutely, I have met and spoken with Dr. Masayuki Yamamoto, who is a godfather of NRF2, and his fellow, Dr. Ito, Ken Ito, who is also now a world-renowned NRF2er. He cloned NRF2. Spoke with him also. But now Dr. Yamamoto actually can pronounce my name. So the excitement of NRF2 world is incredible. And you will see, because I will tie up NRF2 to mitochondrial health, to NAD and sirtuins, the importance. So for me to present, obviously, if I am with NRF2 and NRF1 and mitochondria, my interest is breast cancer. So I did a study on different kinds of breast cancer and staining, well, in my world, you know, it's called staining, of with NRF2 protein. Because we know that cancer is divided into two categories, and I will talk about it. One that has that mutation of NRF2, and NRF2 cancers, but the other cancers that are actually deficient in NRF2. That's when we start thinking, well, the bringing up the NRF2 activation may actually, you know, suppress that cancer. And I have proven in my research on breast cancers that in my nine cases of different types of breast cancer, I did not see breast cancer NRF2 mutation. So that's what I presented. Anyway, now.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. I just want to make sure people understand that. So in 9 different cases that you've looked at, you're showing that, you know, the NRF2, because people worry, can it make more cancer? That it's
that's correct.
Increasing cancer. And that's what you're has always been your main concern because of what you do, is that
Absolutely.
make more. And what you're seeing is that healthy breast tissue, that it's not happening. So.
And that's exactly, but yeah, I will tell you later, not only I have proven in my study that in my 9 cases of different flavors of breast cancer, NRF2 was not upregulated. But I also I have proven that what surrounds or cancer environment has absolutely no NRF2 activation, meaning that those cells are they are very, very toxic, they are very polluted, they're very dirty. And that's what feeds cancer. So we can start thinking, how do we tackle these things? So guys, NRF2 activation, clean the cells. So, so I went through my slides and stuff. So I'm paraphrasing and I'm sort of putting the major bullet points. Now, NRF2 inducers, they call it inducers. And so we call it activators, they call it inducers. NRF2 inducers are good things. This is a quote by Dr. Masayuki Yamamoto. NRF2 protects our body against various oxidative or electrophilic stresses. Now, autophagy may be a new thing for you, but you need to understand that NRF2 complex, it's like a latch and hinge. We know about this. It's a lock and key mechanism. So, and that lock and key mechanism it's supposed to work in that synergy or in that biofeedback. That's when the normal cell operates. We need some free radicals to activate that unlocking of that lock and hinge. So, and that guy that is locking NRF2 takes care of what is called autophagy. Autophagy is wiping out bad cells. So we need the sort of the good part of NRF2 complex is NRF2, but we also need quote unquote bad part of NRF2 is KEAP1, and all these components to work right and in synergy. NRF2 is a transcription factor, meaning that it goes and transcribes or helps to activate the genes, activate cytoprotective enzymes genes. Cytoprotective meaning that it protects the cells, but it protects those proteins or enzymes. So basically what NRF2 does, it turns on the genes those genes turn on the production of the proteins that are protecting our cells. And that's essential. Now, okay, how do I get to my next slide? I keep moving this thing because okay. So these are, again, this is the slide. Again, I created it from, we clean the cells, detoxification proteins, the cleanup, the vacuum cleaners, antioxidant stress enzymes and proteins, obviously turns on that famous glutathione. It takes care of our iron and heme and also transcription factors. Now, see, they are allowed to say that. So I'm basically, again, I'm just rephrasing. How NRF2 inducers improve diseases. That's how they do. What I have discovered there, I knew that NRF2 is the cell guardian. End the story. We hit the jackpot. Well, the problem is we hit the jackpot, but we don't have the jackpot. We only open the lid of the jackpot. So now we're finally getting to the money. So that's where you are, guys. That's the excitement of me as a physician, because the jackpot is there and it's full. It is untouched. The treasure, we're just starting to dig in the treasure. Now, I didn't know that NRF2 actually participates in metabolism, but it does. So again, it turns on my metabolic processes. That's how we per se may get younger, because the older we are, the metabolic processes are not working right. And then, look at this, activation of NRF2 causes longer intestinal villi. What does that mean? It means when you eat, it means when you eat, what happens with your food? Why do you eat? You eat, so your food is digested, and then the food is absorbed as nutrients and nutritional foundation for your cells. Your blocks, your building blocks. How is it absorbed? It is absorbed through the villi in your small gut. So if you have, when you're sick, or you have a leaky gut, or you're old, your longer villi become the shorter villi. This is per se the essence of celiac disease. People with celiac disease, they don't have villi. They have a flat surface. But when you have a longer villi, you have a much higher surface to absorb your nutrients. And when you absorb your nutrients, your cell is fed the right way. But your cell is also not only nurtured, but it has the building blocks. Make sense? So now even Maria knows. Now, the excitement is, guys, NRF2 people, Dr. Masayuki Yamamoto and the Japanese astronaut took care of the mice in space. A dozen of mice, 12 mice were in space for one reason, to check on their NRF2, because the space creates that oxidative stress environment. And the part is, the most important part was to bring them home alive. And they got home alive, but they were not alive for a long time at home, obviously. So they sacrificed them to study them. And they don't send mice for other transcription factors. This is the significance of what we now. So I told you about cancer. So I love how they call it. They don't call it NRF2 mutated per se cancers. I love that name, NRF2 addicted cancers. So I've discovered, so my breast cancer cases are not NRF2 addicted, they are NRF2 deficient. But when we look, and I'm not getting into the details of NRF2 addicted cancers, because again, for the sake of time, I've got plenty of slides, but the NRF2 addicted tumors, they are surrounded by that microenvironment. So that was absolutely brought up. We need, look at this, we need to activate NRF2 in tumor microenvironment, because if we activate the tumor microenvironment in the right way, it's going to suppress the NRF2 addicted cancer. How huge is that? To me, that was huge. Now, NRF2 in mitochondria. Again, you know, that was from another presentation. Look at this. NRF2 is perceived by a cell as a fasted metabolic state. And now we're going to be talking about NAD and sirtuins and about caloric restriction. It's like one feeds the other. Now, NRF2 also affects mitochondrial function as a part of fatty acid oxidation, big term. But what do we bring in our omegas? What are our omegas? Our omegas are essential fatty acids. So the ones that not only we use for our membrane to build the cell membrane, but we also use it as a cell fuel, as the mitochondria uses it to give us energy as a fuel. Do you see the multifactorial benefits of NRF2? So this I had to show you, so please do not take a picture of this because I'm liable. But this is the summary per se. Amazing, huh? That's what we have. Look, is important for generational protection of our body, blah, blah, blah. Stress-based diseases, Well, for them, it's a drug development. And for us, it's a proper NRF2 inducers or activators. There you go. And about cancer. Awesome. Okay, shifting gears, NAD. NAD. Guys, I'm nervous today. It's my first go. I am studying, I'm learning and stuff. However, of course, NAD is the kid, the favorite kid in the block right now, because now you cannot eat NAD and you cannot have NAD in a pill. It doesn't work. You have to eat NAD precursors, or you have to fast per se, or you have to do intermittent fasting. And then your precursors, like, for example, like tryptophan. You know, you like turkey? Well, turkey has tryptophan, just don't eat a lot of it. And tryptophan is an NAD precursor. Vitamin D, vitamin B3, niacin, nicotinic acid is an NAD precursor. What is an NAD? What does it mean, coenzyme? Coenzyme means that, so we have proteins. So and the proteins function, but some of them do not function if they don't get a kick from another protein. NAD is that kick. So for example, we're going to be talking about your sirtuins. Your sirtuins are not going to function if they're not kicked into their little butts by the NAD. So NAD is the kicker, okay? And you absolutely need that kicker. Now, here we go. Look at this. Don't look into this, the sort of, you know, the science, blah, 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 just the concept. NAD dependent sirtuins 1 and 2 can affect the gene expression of different genes, and one of them is, have you ever heard of a superoxide dismutase? On occasion, right? Now, how do we upregulate SOD? Have you ever heard of NRF2? And maybe you've heard of an NRF2 inducer that turns on that SOD, right? So now we're talking about that complexity, that togetherness, but we need to understand that we need good of this, we need good of those, and we definitely need a good NRF2. That's again, back to the watch analogy. We need those wheels, we need those rivets. Now, NAD actually can increase NRF2 activity. Well, it actually works vice versa. You know, now look at this. That is what the essence of what we bring. When we do natural stuff, when we do our NRF2 inducer or our NRF1 activator, we upregulate what is called basal conditions, meaning we upregulate the way the cell works in normality. The cell was intended to work. Nothing is hyped, nothing is lessened. That's the cell is intended to work, to clean, to upregulate, to work. That is called basal conditions. Or basal meaning up, down, up, or the other words, we call it pulsatile manner. Now, this is complicated slide, don't worry. It's just to show you that our sirtuins are actually helping NRF2 in a glutathione synthesis and stuff. So, you know, I'm just trying to show you the synergy of one and the other. NAD. Now, NAD plays critical role in energy metabolism, mitochondrial function, calcium metabolism, immune function. Okay? And it also participates in production of NAD brother. There is an absolute intricate interplay between NRF2 and this guy. So we need again and again and again, same thing. Now, NAD and mitochondrial function and aging. Loss of mitochondrial function is a hallmark of aging and age-associated diseases. Have you ever heard of an NRF1 activator? NRF1 transcription factor boosts our mitochondrial genes. And then, now, what are the sirtuins? Maria, by the way, did you find out how we pronounce it?
No, we got sirtuins or
Sirtuins, something like that. You got the
Sirtuins.
idea. We'll ask Carrie Williams for the proper pronunciation. So sirtuins. What did you say?
Sirtuins.
Oh my goodness! There you go, guys. We got a confirmation. Sirtuins.
Sirtuins. So with the
Sirtuins.
long U.
So sirtuins. So sirtuins are a family of proteins that play a role in cellular health, aging. Now, not only that, they're responsible for critical biologic functions like DNA. That's a whole thing. I told you previously, sirtuins can only function in the presence of NAD, a coenzyme found in every living cell. Now, so there are 7 of them. So meaning that 3 of them are responsible for our youth or mitochondria. 3 of them are responsible for some of the genes. And 1 of them is in the cytoplasm. Look at the array, what they do. Telomere activity, a lot of you know the function of telomeres. Oh yeah, oh, I see Maria's eyes just went that big. Telomeres, when you lose your telomeres, you age, you're old, your cells are not dividing, your cells die. The longer your telomeres, the younger you are, the longer you live. You know, apoptosis, for example, that is when the cell recognizes that it went wonky and it's going to get wiped out. DNA repair, senescence, and or oxidative stress response. Sirtuins function in aging has to date been reported to be related in the role of regulation of energy metabolism, response to caloric restriction, control of cell death, and circadian rhythm. Or, as we were talking about, circadian rhythm is the basal state. Now, so here's the deal. I teach health and I teach pillars of health with diet and stuff. Guys, calorie restriction is not sustainable. It may make your mitochondria healthier, but it will make you a whole lot more miserable. They actually did the study, and they did the study of all places in Arizona. They put people in the bubble for 8 months. They put people in a special glass bubble for 8 months. And they put them on caloric restriction. So they were, and then they were examining the cellular metabolism, the cellular stuff. The mitochondria went young, but the brain went extremely unhappy. It's not sustainable. It's only good till you get into your dress and then you start eating back and you are gaining all your diseases and all your unhealthy habits. So we have to find a way how to eat right with a relative, not caloric overeating, but the proper sirtuins upregulation. Now, what is the importance of sirtuins? Look at this. Obesity, Alzheimer's, kidney disease, liver disease, inflammatory diseases, osteoporosis, cancer. Well, guess what? I already tied up NRF2 with NAD and sirtuins. Now let's tie up sirtuins and NRF1. So one of the sirtuins that is responsible for mitochondrial health is it regulates NRF1. However, You may not be excited about this gene P53. However, me, who is a breast cancer specialist, as well as some doctors like Dr. Nancy Bryan, she will be very excited to know that there is a very intricate interplay between sirtuin 1, which is a nucleus sirtuin, DNA responsible sirtuin, and P53. P53 is the gatekeeper against cancer. That's it. One of the most important tumor suppressor genes. So this is just the big overview about NRF1 and sirtuin. If you want to take the picture of the slide, go ahead. I'm just showing you the text from one of the papers to show the significance. NAD, and now I'm just quoting another highlight on the paper, the importance of NAD, obesity, fatty liver, type 2 diabetes.
So Sveta, 1 second. So what you're showing, and I just want to make sure I understand, is with NRF2 and NAD, NRF1 and NAD, they all help each other make more in the body. They're all
You
connected.
could not have said it better. You could not have said it better. And it has to be in that normal, basal, physiologic way of upregulation. And that's exactly, it's like one feeds the other. And they all go together. You turn on NRF2, it's going to upregulate NAD. NAD is going to help sirtuins. Sirtuins are going to go back to NRF1. Healthy NRF1, healthy NRF2. Oxidative stress, unhealthy upregulation of mitochondria. It's all in that proper cellular metabolism, aka sustaining that cellular metabolic biochemical integrity. Now, this is highlight, don't read in the text, it may be complicated, but what it shows you, you need this to fight this and to fight this. But we all know that oxidative stress is the root cause of this and the root cause of this. But we also know that mitochondrial dysfunction is directly linked to this and to this, as well as microgut deficiency. That's another story. Forget about this. This is, you know what happens with sirtuins when they go into the nucleus? What they do, they help to conserve our DNA, because sometimes you need to keep DNA folded and inactive. Because, so it kind of like, you know, when the genes worked up, then they need to rest. And that's what sirtuins do, because when we keep the genes unfolded, they're vulnerable to mutations. They're vulnerable to something that is going to go wonky. And that's what sirtuins do. They preserve, they keep them silent, you see? They keep gene expression silent, protecting DNA from damage.
So going wonky, that's the medical term?
Well, for Russians, it can be medical term, you know, like, sorry.
I love it, I love it.
Now, so this is summary. This is a very loaded, but this shows you the importance of what I just said. So this is your central player, right? Now this gives a kick to this, guys. You see one seared, then the other seared. So this is mitochondria, this is the nucleus. So that's what I wanted to show you. It's hugely, and then see, these are your precursors. This is your turkey, amongst other things. So this is your vitamin B3. Get your vitamin B3s from greens. Go look up the foods. So, and then we got this guy, and this is going to kick in and help those guys to work, and these guys to work. And this leads you to this. This is another summary, because see guys, when your SIRT1, which is very important in the brain, is downregulated, your pro-inflammatory regulators are up, your mitochondrial regulators are down, your DNA protectors are down. So this guy is, I forgot where it is, whether I think it could have been cytoplasmic. Look at this. Your free radicals are up. Your bad cell inducer, hypoxia-induced factor, or cancer upregulator is up. And your mitochondrial booster is down. So now, let's say your NAD is down. Guess what happened? DNA damage is happening. You see, so this is a great slide that I happen to plagiarize from one of medical papers. Now, this and not this. So that's it. I'm summarizing. That's why we do what we do. Because whether we like it or not, we're aging. So this is how we age. This is age. This is, you can read. And this what happens. So guys, I told you, when you do caloric restriction, which is not sustainable, it's awesome. I love food. And I stand by intermittent fasting, absolutely. And I will never stop.
But intermittent fasting is different from caloric restriction.
Absolutely, it's different from caloric restriction.
We've had people trying to confuse this, and
No. Caloric restriction means you're eating like 700 calories a day. That's a starvation diet.
Yes.
Starvation diet, as I said, is great when you need to fit into a wedding dress.
Hey, Sveta, this is Michael. What about
Michael
the state
who?
of
Sorry.
Michael Epstein?
The amazing Michael Epstein, the father to be Michael Epstein.
That's right, coming up. Thank you. You know what? For the past 6 months, I've been studying autophagy, and I've put my body into the state of autophagy 3 times, 5 days only water, and I don't want to go on of what it does, but it's, you know what? NAD creates the synthetic, if you will, autophagy, because it puts in the body in the state of autophagy.
And this is, to me, thanks, Michael. Thank you very much. Beautiful picture behind you. To me, see, that's why I do intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting allows you not to overeat. So for mitochondrial health, we need a little less calories that you require. You don't need 600-700 calories starvation. But let's say if my limit is, if my daily requirement is 1600 calories, if I do 14 or 1300 calories on intermittent fasting, which is because I have that interval, that actually allows me to eat what I want as much as I want and not over consume the calories. But I love to introduce that additional NAD sirtuins, again, for those processes. And oh yeah, this is just for me. Oh yeah, that was very interesting. This is a very complicated slide, but it just shows me that look, we need to upregulate everything the right way because the bad things are very smart. That's why we need to make sure that our cells work like this beautiful vintage watches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sveta. That was amazing. And, the science is great. It's for us to learn, but you cannot go talk to people like this, okay? You can't geek out and dive into this stuff when you're not a medical doctor. So we need to learn from people like Dr. Silverman, from doctors, that this is real, that there is real science behind this. So your takeaway today should be that the science is there on this sirtuins. I got it right, sirtuins. So the science is there. This is real. It's another tool to help the body get back into balance, to help the body heal, all of it. So I just want to recap, Sveta. So NRF2 is the oxidative stress, the free radical theory of aging, right? So NRF2 reduces that oxidation, which we know is linked to lots of stuff out there. So that helps support the body. NRF1 is the mitochondria, right? Mitochondria is the engine of the cell. Without that, you have no energy. The second theory of aging. The third theory of aging is the sirtuins. Sirtuins. I gotta say it without thinking. Sirtuins, right? The other theory of aging. So, and we're just learning about this. So when you're explaining to people, that can be like, you know, the CEO of the company, right? Directing everything, right? Like the mom in the house, right? Directs everything. So the sirtuins are directing everything, more of this, less of that, kind of bring it all together. But these three different components are what can, you know, help you to even be healthier, right? To help you have what we're searching for, which is to slow down the aging process.
This
And
is
we know that
amazing.
if we slow the aging process, we are healthier, we feel better.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, you know, the analogy just came to me. NRF2 activation, NRF1 activation, NAD sirtuins, essential fatty acids, and microgut is a board of directors. It's a board of directors of your company. So for example, we have Erin Brockovich. Erin Brockovich is an NAD and sirtuins for our company because she just boosted our company mitochondria. So you absolutely need NRF2 activation because nothing is going to happen in a dirty environment. You have to have clean cells. This is your major cellular cleaner. You know, it takes care of the brooms.
All the garbage trucks, it makes the garbage trucks, right?
That's
so
what I'm saying, absolutely.
NRF2 gets the garbage out of your cell.
Absolutely, cleans the garbage.
Gets the engine revving, and the
engine is your, so mitochondria is your engine. Now you need to turn on the engine, that is your NRF1. However, you need your engine turning, and those wheels are your sirtuins and your NAD, amongst other things. And then you need that amazing lubrication and pliability, which is your essential fatty acids. But everything has to go bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. That's a microgut.
Yeah.
That's your probiotics. And that's your happiness with all of the above. On top of your exercise, on top of your happy mind, and on top of your nutrient-dense foods. We absolutely need to teach what we have and to take what we have.
Yeah.
But these are not substitutes. These are parts of that healthy living. We are nutrigenomics after all.
Thank you, Sveta. We are all super excited about this. I just got mine because I was away this weekend. I took my first one with my hubby, and we are super excited. I will keep you posted on what I'm feeling and how's it going. There's yours. Look at all the elites got them. I got it. You guys, I know I'm making you all jealous. Sorry. But we need stories, right? So this is the best thing, is get us on it so we have the stories. I think we're super excited about this product because everyone that's taken it feels this energy, this crispness. They're feeling something right away. And we know that people take something and they want to feel something. So I think we're positioned so right now to go out and build this business, because those people that say, I didn't feel anything, will go back to them and say, hey, we just launched a new product and people are feeling it within 3 days. Do you want to try some? So I suggest you get some extra bottles, right? I'm buying extra bottles. I'm giving people 3-day supply. So it's 2 pills. So they're going to get 2, 4, 6. Some information in there that I'm going to print out. And I am going to go give this to people. Well, somebody's sharing their screen. Someone else is taking over here. And I'm going to share this with people. I've already got a list of probably 15 people just this weekend that I've been talking to, and they've seen my excitement about this. And like, I'm just like, I am so excited. We're launching a new product, and it's the same excitement we had 9 years ago with NRF2, honestly. I think we can blow up your businesses. You can go out and bless so many more people help so many more people with their health. Another tool that we're giving them. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's call that a wrap. Blessed by you, Sveta. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Love you all, guys. Love you, love you, love you.
Thank you, Sveta.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marisa.